Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to the daily update on my 1000 day challenge. This is day 680, so let's get things started. Alright, first and foremost, balance remain the same. I'm not entering any trade right now, like what I mentioned in terms of forward and daily chart wise. So my main trading setup is not entering any trade right now. If you're looking in terms of the experimental trade setup, what I mentioned, is still in the midst of finalizing a couple of details. I'm running a little trial, but I'm not actively monitoring in terms of the actual market itself. All right, beyond that, if you look in the S&P 500, the US market, we do see on the weekly closing a very bearish candlestick itself. So switching over to here, what you do see was that on the weekly chart, we definitely close on a very bearish sign. On the daily chart, we definitely get below and close all the way from the high all the way to the low. So it's a very clear sign that there's a very strong selling of pressure and that people were very keen to sell, even though there was firstly a gap down, and then pressure continued all the way to the end, and buyers have not in any way step in even towards the very last second itself. So it's very clear that people is just waiting for potential retest and very likely to the break of it, and could very much trigger a technical bear market in the S&P 500, which definitely could trigger the further downside in a potential short-term or even mid-term wise. So definitely for the 2022 ahead, I do see that we definitely potentially going to see much lower low from now. But so whether will you be able to bounce up towards the end of the year, there is still a question up in the air, and so let's see how things goes. But of course, overall, if you look in terms of say 3 to 5 years down, I still think we're going to see much higher high than where we are right now. I don't see this bear market to be overextended over the past 5 to 10 years. But that's not to say that's not going to potentially happen. It could definitely happen as well. So let's see how things goes. And for that same pattern, we see a very big bearish candlestick eliminating all the gains that we had from the previous 2 weeks ago. Same as what we've seen. So like what I mentioned, definitely further downside is more likely in the coming weeks ahead. So be very cautious in terms of any trading position in terms of that. All right. And finally, if you look in terms of China market-wise, we do see ASR bearing a very decent bounce. But bearing in mind, right now we are facing some sort of key resistances over here. We form a red spinning top candlestick itself. In addition to it being near the 200 exponential, 200 simple moving average on the weekly chart. So there is definitely a potential rejection point. Previously, we did find support over here as well. So if we do see some rejection, potentially we could bounce back over or drop back over to the $30 region itself. In which case, if we find some support, it would very much be a very good sign. So we do see volume picking up as well, which is why I say next week, tentatively, if you just look at ASH in terms of volume-wise, price action-wise, it do lean towards potential pullback more to be more likely in that sense. And then finally for KREP itself, similar price action, and then we do see the rejection, and we're still below this primary horizontal monthly resistance itself. So we can see over here it's slightly above that, but I'll still consider it within the range of this rejection point. So if we do see a weak rejection, then definitely will be great. If, however, we see a very strong rejection itself, then we have a weak rebound and further downside could definitely resume just as well. So what we do want is we want to see a weak rebound, a weak drop, and a very strong rebound thereafter. All right, and then finally for Bitcoin wise, like what I mentioned yesterday itself, we unfortunately actually break below the range of yesterday, which is what I mentioned. We do not want to close below the wick of this region itself, and in which case we actually close at the low of 29K region itself, and over here it says around 29.1K region itself. So we definitely wanted to be above that, to be at 29.2K above. So with that, we're actually picking up in terms of our momentum itself, but definitely not in terms of price and then the volume just yet. So let's see how things goes. Definitely, I do see that potentially we do close over here near the region itself. We're very much likely to see a very strong sell pressure either tomorrow or perhaps in this coming week itself, where we could very much retest this 22 to 24K region itself very strongly itself, or even perhaps much lower low as well. Especially when we could run much over here, so a very strong rejection, and then we could see a cascading effect in the sell pressure itself. But in terms of long-term hold position, I'm definitely still holding in terms of Bitcoin wise, simply because we really, I would say, in my personal opinion, it's impossible to predict when we have a strong bounce. And if we do have a strong bounce, it may or may not be too late to enter. And we could also very much have a reverse at any unexpected moment in time. So at the end of the day, I still look in terms of the end goal for my trading position. I'm definitely out of it. In my long-term position, I'm definitely looking in terms of holding it and holding it for the long-term wise. All right. Otherwise, it's more or less about it. I don't see any clear setup to look in terms of forward and daily chart. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop by your comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.